What's up, y'all? So, welcome back to the We Tired Show, where we're going to be discussing Lil Nas X today. Let me just say this in full transparency, I actually really like Lil Nas X, and I like him not for his music. Like, I'm not really into his music like that. Not that it's bad, it's just not my cup of tea. But I like Lil Nas X for who he is and what he represents. The I don't give a fuck attitude, the way he trolls the shit out of heterosexual people who like to practice selective outrage and act like anything dealing with gay people is just such an offense to them and their children and all this stuff like that. Like, girl, bye. So I love him for that. I love the fact that he be trolling the shit out of these crazy ass Christians and how they're trying to force their religion on everybody and all this other stuff. So I love him for that. And then on top of that, I think he's very attractive. I love his beautiful Afrocentric black boy lips, them nice, pretty, juicy lips. Like, woo, I just love that. And then he has that pretty black skin. Just that whole African black boy look. I love that. Like, and he's like here and he's popular with it and it's appreciated and stuff. So that's my thing with Lil Nas X. He's still too young for me, but I think he's an attractive guy. Anyway, this is not what that's about. What this is about. So anyway, so in this situation, Lil Nas X, he was like, "Oh my God, I have a big announcement, etc., etc., etc." So he made his big announcement. Child, he was pregnant. So I just thought this was so hilarious. I wouldn't expect anything less from him, honestly. So he released this, and then of course they're going to the controversy queens. They all come running out. First off, I seen stuff. The first piece of the drama was women were stating that this was misogynistic, and he's making fun of pregnancy and stuff. I don't really see it. I don't see the argument in regards to how this is misogynistic or he's making fun of pregnancy. Um, and then also, I think he has a license for this because, as you guys know, especially I think like 2 years ago, it was like a fucking pandemic. Every time you turn around, you saw some man dressing up like a woman, pretending to be a woman, and all this stuff like that, and getting really, really big on the internet, becoming really huge influencers by pretending to be a woman, like TT, her. Then I think you got Brandon. He was the light skinned boy, scammer, something to scammers. I gotta find. I'll post a picture on here. Whatever the person name is. And then, but in the black community, this was like a pandemic. Every time you turned around, you saw some black dude dressing up like a woman, making a caricature of black women, acting like, I guess they so-called black women grandmothers and aunties and all that stuff like that. So there was no outrage with that. But then he pretends like he's pregnant. And then let's not forget about the switch it up challenge where the man pretended to be the woman and the woman pretended to be the man and they switched clothes. In some of those instances, the the woman was pregnant, so the man would put a pillow on his stomach, etc. But I didn't hear any outrage about that. There was no problems. But now with this situation, all of a sudden he's being misogynistic and coming for women and all this stuff like that. I don't know. I guess if y'all feel that way, that's how y'all feel. I just don't see it. And I really don't think this was that big of a deal. But of course, the other part of this, Lil Nas X can't do nothing without some black man running up trying to scream and yell about his children and think of the children and all this stuff. So in this case, surprisingly, I haven't seen anything. It's not Little Bootsy. I'm sure he's going to be coming out with something soon. But it's Darnell Rollins. He's a semi-famous comedian. He's had little roles here and there. I don't know. Most of y'all may not even know him. I know he's really popular in the black community. But I don't think he's ever really made that shift over like a Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart or anything like that. So, but anyway, he wrote this statement. He was like, "I'm with freedom of whatever," but at this point, Lil Nas X is blank with the mind. I guess he meant fucking with the minds of kids. What are your thoughts? How do I explain this shit to my son? Here's my perspective on this. You all can explain this to your sons the same way you're going to have to explain to them why you're not present in their lives. Or in the same way, you're going to have to explain to them why you have so many different baby mothers. Or you can explain to them why Tyler Perry is dressed up like Madea in a dress. or you can explain it to them in the same way that you're gonna have to explain the WAP video to them. So basically, you're not gonna explain shit. So stop acting like y'all are so concerned about your children. You do not give a fuck about your kids. Let's really call a thing a thing. Anything that's in regards to this is, and you're coming for it, is because Lil Nas X is gay. Sukiana just came out with a freaking coochie eating music video. Are you gonna sit your son down and explain that to him? And some people are gonna be like, well, they didn't see Sukiana's video, but they saw Lil Nas X. At the end of the day, it's still your responsibility to facilitate what your children are watching or seeing. If Lil Nas X actions bothers you so much, then at that point, you need to make sure your kids are not seeing anything as it relates to Lil Nas X. That may include you putting parental controls on their cell phones, or putting parental controls on the TikTok apps. Shit, if you don't want them to see anything dealing with Lil Nas X, delete all that stuff off the phone. Put a block on their internet where they can only access certain things. There's tons of options that these parents can do. I'm gonna make another video talking about how I feel as though a lot of heterosexual people are trying to force their children on gay people in terms of trying to make us change our behaviors and do things differently in order to help raise their children. Lil Nas X doesn't have any kids. He can do what the fuck he want to do. If he want to run around in the streets naked, that's his choice. He doesn't have anybody he's responsible for. Those are your children. So if you tell your child not to do something, then that's what it should be. If I tell my child, do not watch Lil Nas X because I don't agree with what he's doing, I better not catch your little ass watching anything dealing with Lil Nas X. Because if I do, that's going to be your ass. I don't understand why these parents act like they don't have no control. This isn't a debate. Your home, as it relates to you and your children, should not be a democracy. It should be a dictatorship. I told you to do something, so you need to do it. So all of this screaming and yelling, oh, think of the children, think of the children. He has already explained to y'all. Y'all keep talking about Old Town Road was geared towards children. Who gives a fuck? Hannah Montana stuff, Miley Cyrus stuff was initially geared to children. They grow up, they become adults, and they don't want to do the stuff dealing with children. Chloe and Halle, their music was like Disney friendly and geared to children. Now they're doing more grown adult music. Chris Brown was the same way. When he first came out, it was like that bubblegum pop stuff, and he's made the transition to an adult. Y'all not telling these people they need to be examples for your children. Y'all only keep coming to him, trying to make him do what y'all want him to do, to be examples for your children, who he had no pleasure in making. Raise your own goddamn kids. Like, period. Like, I don't understand why y'all keep inserting y'all children into this stuff. If it bothers you so much, tell your child to stop watching stuff as it relates to Lil Nas X. And like I just said, they want to be like, oh, Old Town Road was geared towards children, blase, blase. So you've seen the transition that he's not doing Old Town Road music anymore. He's more so into this type of stuff that he's doing. Then that's where you cut it off. You can't watch him no more. Period. But if y'all keep allowing your children to do what they want to do and not listen to you, and then you want to go to the celebrity and try to force them so they can help raise your kids, he has no type of connection to your children. He does not have to do what's best for your children. You as the parent have to do what's best for your children. If I had a kid, I would never let my kids hear any type of rap music. And if I catch their ass doing it, I'm going to get off in their ass when I see them. Because I think rap music is violent, I think it's misogynistic, and I think it's extremely homophobic. So I wouldn't even want any of that crap influencing my children. Just how I feel. It is what it is. So y'all let me know what y'all think. That's my little rant in regards to the situation. Go off in the comments, like, subscribe, and share the video, and then let's get it popping in the comments. I'm very interested to see what y'all feel about this, and especially as it relates to all of these people keep coming out talking about, oh, think of the kids, how am I going to explain this to my child, and all this stuff like that.